Today I'm going to be giving you 3 tips that are going to undoubtedly increase your IQ and make you smarter. So in order to start right away, starting with the tip number 1 is eat for energy and not for satisfaction. The stuff that we put in our bodies directly affect how we feel throughout our days. So for example, if we only eat for satisfactory purposes, if I only eat fast foods that taste good but they have zero nutritional value for me, I am going to get that dopamine rush after I eat the food because I enjoy it, I like it, it's sweet, savory, cheeseburger, my favorite cheeseburger for example, or ice cream, or a pint of ice cream, I don't know. I'm gonna like the food, I'm gonna get that dopamine hit instantly as I enjoy my food, but afterwards, my energy, my focus levels are going to suck. I'm going to spike my insulin levels, my blood glucose is not going to be stable, and I'm going to feel pretty lethargic, and my work is not going to be as high quality as it could be if I had rather taken care of what I put into my body. So one thing to start with this is eating foods that are easy for your body to digest. Now, as I've told you before, digestion is one of your body's more energy consuming, more calorie consuming functions. That means that it requires a lot of energy for your body to digest foods. Thus, if you're eating foods that are easy to digest, you're letting your body have more energy, you're letting more energy on the side for you to actually use in your day. Rather than if you're eating foods that are super hard to digest, you might feel lethargic, you might feel low on energy, etc, etc. This is not a good deal whatsoever. Foods that are easy to digest and are not the same for everyone. This is something really individual that you should figure out for yourselves, taking a gut health and microbiome test preferably. So these types of foods for you to eat are unprocessed, natural foods, single ingredient foods are the best. You want to think about it like this: if it comes in a plastic packaging, or if it's packaged whatsoever, it's usually bad for you. And another way to think about it is the less ingredients that food has, the better. If it's single ingredient, it's the best. So natural, organic, unprocessed foods are the best for you, generally speaking, and it's a perfect rule of thumb, general rule of thumb to go with. It's also really important that you figure out what those foods are for you again. And another way to do this, another way to see how you feel on a sort of A/B test your nutrition, is to start with a baseline of 4 to 5 food sources. Let's say eggs, meat, rice, potatoes, and some fruits. You keep those variables stable every day, so you know that you're eating the exact same thing every day. It's best that you keep it as stupidly simple as possible. So now you know your variables, right? When you want to start adding food sources one by one, slowly, you're gonna be, let's say, adding an extra food source, let's say butter, grass-fed butter, you want to start adding it. Then if something's wrong with your digestion, if something's wrong with your energy, you're gonna know clearly that some of the new variables that you've added are causing the trouble. So this is one of the best ways to go about it as well. Starting super simple and super stupidly simple again, your diet, and then slowly adding food sources. Now the second big thing to make you smarter pretty much is to prioritize and optimize your sleep. So when you're prioritizing your sleep, when you're making sure that your sleep quality is on point every day and you keep improving it, cognitive functions are working a lot better, your recovery is on point, and your learning is also increased. If you're not optimizing and prioritizing your sleep correctly, you're making yourself poor, weak, and dumb. So in order for you to optimize your sleep better and improve its quality, you can leverage tracking devices in order to assess your sleep's data and metrics in order to keep improving your sleep every day. So a good reference for this example for having metrics in your daily life, and especially for sleep, is like having 200K in your bank account and wanting to scale to 8-9 figures, but you have no access to this bank account. Now you see how this is simply preventing you to know what you're doing wrong, if you're making more, or generally have an idea of how things are going. And this is a big mistake and obstacle for you to actually scale to 8-9 figures, right? Another thing you can do is manipulate light exposure, and that is both sunlight or general fake blue light. So what you can do with this is optimize your day so that when you wake up, you go out and you get sunlight exposure, and then in the evening you limit your blue light exposure. So that is with blue light blocking glasses, that is with using Himalayan salt lamps, red LED light bulbs, and general avoiding screens as much as possible. With this, you can make sure that your hormonal functions, your melatonin, your cortisol are on point, and therefore your sleep quality can massively improve with this. The next thing that can help you improve your sleep and optimize it is your wind down protocols, your wind down routines. And if you're not following a specific wind down routine for you, it's really key to do here, to start implementing. If you can set it up to the way that you can do it, there's not a single thing that works for everybody. The general things you can do for your wind down routine, for example, is to avoid blue light 3 hours before bed, avoid any big meals 3 hours before bed, avoid hard work 3 hours before bed, and then do things that relax you, that make you feel calmer, like spending time with loved ones, spending time with your girlfriend, going out for a dinner with your girlfriend, listening to some music that you enjoy, that calms you down, taking a hot shower, and then supplementing with things such as chamomile tea. There are many things you can do that promote the feeling of relaxation, calm you down from your hectic day of working, and that help you fall asleep faster and prime your body for sleep, pretty much. Another thing in the list to improve your sleep is supplementation, of course. And once that you've taken care of the lowest hanging fruits, you can now move towards supplementation, of course. There are many supplements that can help with the feeling of calmness, may help relax you, may help you fall asleep faster, and calm your nervous system down. And some of these supplements are ashwagandha, magnesium glycinate, glycine, or maybe chamomile tea. And generally speaking, supplementation is one of the things that you want to do last, because you first want to assess the lowest hanging fruits, as I said, because these are the things that are going to have the biggest returns on investment. You first want to make sure that you have everything dialed in, so you can then take some extra benefits and the icing on the cake from supplementation. Now, the third thing to help increase your IQ and make you smarter is to strategically construct your daily work schedule. Now, constructing and creating your daily schedule, your daily work schedule, should be created in accordance to your chronotype. So your chronotype is going to tell you when you're most creative, when you're most productive, when you're most alert, when you should eat, when you should work out, etc., etc. So these things, by figuring out what your chronotype is, you can then move forward and sort of put certain tasks at the times that feel most optimal for you. It's not always good to do work just for the sake of doing work and getting stuff done, because some tasks might require more force and more energy for you to complete than some other more creative, more relaxed tasks. And the best thing to do is categorize them so that when you're feeling low on energy, you can select a task that you have put in the category of low energy tasks. Or when you're feeling alert and still high energy, you can then take a task that requires more energy. And your approach should be very strategic for maximum performance, because you cannot do anything at any times. Your brain will not work like that. And it should be in accordance to your chronotype, and when you feel most alert in the day, and when you feel that you can actually perform the given activities. Because when you're doing work, you want to do the work efficiently, you want to do the work in the least time possible, not rushing, of course, but you don't want to sit there and think that you're working and you're actually procrastinating, not doing work, losing focus, and sort of stopping in the middle of doing your work for 15 times before you actually complete it, right? So another component of strategically creating your daily work schedule, another important component of this is actually delegating, outsourcing stuff that you don't really need to do. And this is a problem with entrepreneurs because it's an issue of ego, I would say, an issue of maybe trust, because they feel that they need to have the control over anything, because we think that nobody is good enough to do the work that we do, therefore we outsource as least as possible, right? And this is one of the things that is massively holding you back from having more time to spend on your health and having more time to sleep, having more time to do many other things, many other more important things that are actually going to help you and save more time. So identify the tasks that you actually don't need to do yourself. Make sure to be a little bit more flexible when it comes to trust, and know you're not the only person on earth that is actually capable of doing those tasks. And take the step to delegate them and outsource them to your team, to your assistant, or whatever. And now the fourth and final thing for you to increase your IQ and make you smarter is to keep it simple. To try not to make a lot of decisions and make the least decisions possible. Now, less decisions mean more energy. And this applies to anything: your diet, your clothing selection, your cars, anything you have in your day that you actually deciding what to do is taking energy away. For example, for your diet, the simpler you keep it, the simpler foods, the simpler selections, or even better, if you eat the same thing every day, that means that you have a structure of what to eat. You already have a plan of what to eat every day, so you don't have to decide beforehand, oh, what am I going to eat today? I'm going to eat this, I'm going to eat that. So you already know, you already have a plan, a template of what to eat. Therefore, it doesn't require much energy for you to decide that you're going to eat something different today. This takes energy away from other tasks. Also, another cliche and stereotypical thing that you might hear a lot is, for example, the clothing selection. And a good example for this is Mark Zuckerberg, which pretty much wears the same thing every single day. And he has stated himself that he does this for purposes of decision fatigue. And yes, this exists, this is what I'm referring to. And this is because obviously his job is to make good quality decisions, a few good quality decisions every day. And he tries to minimize the other decisions that he has to do in his day-to-day life, so that the other few decisions that are required for his job are the highest quality possible, in order to have the highest benefit, the highest effects, highest returns on investment as possible. The same thing applies to you. You have a limited amount of energy every day. So if you're spending energy deciding what you have to wear, what shoes to wear, what socks to wear, what t-shirt to wear, what breakfast you're gonna have, what lunch are you gonna have, where are you gonna go out for dinner, what car are you gonna drive today? These little decisions actually take energy away from your other high quality tasks that you're gonna do. So by having a predefined template and blueprint that you're gonna follow pretty much every day, you're making sure that you are set in terms of not making a lot of decisions, and you're keeping it simple. So the simpler you keep it, the higher quality choices you're gonna make, the more energized you're gonna be, and the more high quality your work is gonna be pretty much. So yeah, these were the 4 things that I had to give you today about how to become smarter and increase your IQ. These are super key and also are sneaky and underrated. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like down below. Also, I would be happy to know if you have already tried some of these techniques, some of these tips, and how did they work for you. And if you have, please let me know. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video and cannot wait to see you on the next one, guys. Peace.